also the convening partners, that is WWF, ActionAid, and we have Bread for the World, Germany, the Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Justice, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I say all protocols observed. I greet all of you. On behalf of the Board for Center for Environmental Justice, I wish to welcome you and convey my humble gratitude for this rare opportunity to share some remarks and reflections ahead of the Environmental Protection Dialogue, 2 days that we will be here. The guest of honor and distinguished invited guests. As we have learned, the Master of Ceremony, the dialogue theme is towards the sustainable mining sector in Zambia through green investments for nature and people. As the board for the Center for Environmental Justice, we are delighted because the theme itself speaks to the founding mission and purpose of the Center for Environmental Justice. I must mention that Center for Environmental Justice, its own vision is a safe environment as a basic fundamental human right. So we're looking at the environment as it is enshrined in our Constitution as the basic human right. And also, I think as we all know, environment surrounds everything that is meaningful to human being, nature, and also a sustainable environment that we all wish. Center for Environmental Justice equally has been involved in several other initiatives. In particular, I may mention in the extractive industry, water sector, as well as programs and campaigns towards environmental conservation and protection in cooperation with several partners, among others, Bread for the World, Germany, and the Civil Society Environment Fund, CSEF1, that was supported by the Finnish embassy here in Zambia. Particularly in partnership with Bread for the World, allow me to state that CEJ has supported the communities and stakeholders in Sinazongwe district in Southern Province to come up with a district corporate social environmental responsibility plan where all their priorities have been identified and outlined. And I'm very grateful to see very good representation from Sinazongwe here, which will enrich the discussions from experience of some of the works that CEJ has been pioneering or piloting in Sinazongwe. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, guests of honor, and your Royal Highnesses, local businesses and coal mining companies in Sinazongwe have since committed themselves to see how best they can support and invest in those identified areas of need in the district, which is a very good example on how investment and communities together, they can work together and ensure sustainable green investment. To CEJ and the board, we're very optimistic that the pilot model in Sinazongwe can be replicated in other mining communities throughout Zambia. As we all know, and also mentioned earlier by the Master of Ceremony, mining is the core of our country's economy, and this is where our GDP mainly depends on. However, within mining, we have communities, and some of the effects of mining can be detrimental. So it takes dialogue to see how we can reduce some of these effects. So we see the initiative that CEJ is piloting in Sinazongwe as one good example, where a plan has been developed and all stakeholders, the mining community and other businesses and the communities themselves within the vicinity have agreed to identified priorities and are investing to ensure that those priorities are followed and reduce the negative impacts that some of the mining activities may have.